The Bo and Luke Show. Inspiring you to be better, know better, and do better. Welcome to the Bo and Luke Show, with a diverse lineup of guests, from NFL players to CEOs. It's real and it's raw. From the Hale Media Group, here are your hosts, Robert Bo Bravo and Luke Carignan.
All right. Okay, Bo and Luke Nation. In the studio with us today, very special, we have Jarrod Wilson, number 26, safety for the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars. Actually, former University of Michigan Wolverine from Akron, Ohio. And I think we already have some controversy brewing. So many Michigan Wolverines in Buckeye country. It's like President Trump showed up at a Bernie Sanders rally. Whoa. All right. But all joking aside, we couldn't be more pleased to have Jarrod on the set with us today. And Jarrod, we're really looking forward to learning more about you.
Yes, sir. A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it. So I want to stick for just a moment because you are from Akron, Ohio, correct?
Yes, born and raised.
Born and raised, but you went to Michigan.
Yes.
So you've lived your whole life the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, and then you go to Michigan. What's it been like in your community? Do you go into, obviously, I'm sure you wear Michigan gear in the community. What's that like? I know what it's like for me, and I love it because I love creating the controversy.
I kind of don't stir up the controversy.
You don't?
But it's always been there. I mean, growing up clearly in Ohio, Akron, and it's just a ton of Buckeyes there. Haven't paid attention to it, though. I think my family and my city kind of just appreciated someone that was just doing good.
Yeah.
So as far as the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, kind of just went by the wayside. As long as I was being successful in whatever I did, everyone always supported me.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you're the hometown hero, if you will, that made it, and they support you. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, tons of support. You know, come times when I did play in the game, though, I did hear a lot of fuss about, Buckeyes are going to beat us and everything.
Yeah.
But
I know when I walk into the coffee shop, the Mocha House here in Warren on Saturday mornings, it's the best time to go in football season, of course, with the Michigan hoodie on. And there's a group of old timers, and they don't know my name, but they know when I'm coming in on Saturday mornings because you always get the jabs, right?
You're the odd man out.
I'm the odd man out, which is fun, right?
Yep.
So tell us more about where you grew up. Take us through high school, how you got into football. When did you know that football was the sport for you?
Born and raised in Akron, Ohio. Primarily just stayed on the west side kid till I die. Love football since I first started playing at 8 years old.
Wow.
Started playing first at 8. Right then and there, I kind of knew that I wanted to pursue the dream of being an NFL player. Growing up, went to high school at Bookville High School, coached by Ricky Powers. Nothing too special about my career as far as my junior year. We had a really good year and ended up making it to the state championship.
Oh, wow.
During the playoff run, I had a really good playoff run. I scored basically out of 5 games. I scored on all 5 games defensively.
Oh, wow.
Either a touchdown or interception.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Or fumble recovery, things like that.
That's amazing.
And ended up after my junior year, I got tons of offers. Ohio State didn't offer me.
Really?
Yeah, Jim Tressel came down and watched me play basketball.
So who was competing with Michigan that was coming after you?
So my top 3 were Michigan, Penn State, Notre Dame.
Really?
Yeah, and if I had to pick a 5, I think I had Tennessee, West Virginia, and maybe Michigan State was in there.
Yeah.
So them were my top 6 schools. Kind of in the area so my parents could make it to the games.
Yeah, sure.
I did end up having 25 to 30 offers. I had West Coast offers, a couple down south, but I wasn't going to go that far away from my family.
Yeah, and Michigan's close.
Yeah.
It's definitely close.
Yeah, so
what was it that tipped the scale for Michigan?
Man, I think you just couldn't beat it as far as the blend of academics to go along with being in my opinion, the most historic college football program in the history.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't go nowhere without the Block M.
That's right.
Even in Ohio, no matter where you are, the Block M is going to show up. So that was kind of a no-brainer at that point. And then how far that Michigan would propel me in life just by going there. It's kind of more of a business decision more than anything.
Wow.
And then just getting to play in the big house, 110,000 every Saturday. That's all the perks to it.
Yeah.
Being on national TV every Saturday.
I know, that's cool.
I'll
tell you a story fascinating to me, and I never realized it was so difficult because my football career ended as as a freshman in high school after day 2 of pre-pads training.
Yours too, huh, Bo?
Yeah, I was 14 years old, and I wanted to play. I thought I wanted to play football, and I think by the end of day 2, I couldn't walk.
Wow.
I mean, I had never worked out before, like nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
And that was it for me. I was done. But
You did go on to like the Army and be like a really tough bad dude.
Yeah,
so
that came way after age 14. But when doing grad school at Michigan with Vince, we got to go to the big house. We had an opening reception for our cohort, dinner and all that kind of stuff up in the boxes, and then they actually let us go down on the field.
Sweet.
And they had some footballs, and they let us try kicking field goals. And we're like at the 10-yard line. And I couldn't even get it to the goalpost. It was so difficult. It gave me such an appreciation for anybody that walks out on that field playing.
Kickers get a lot of slack, but it's a lot of preparation to it. I don't think just the average Joe could walk out there and do that. Even
I don't either.
Normal extra point from like the 2-yard line is kind of tough.
Yeah,
I can't kick at all.
Yeah, that's what's so fascinating to me about just football in general, and then individuals like yourself who are elite athletes and you made it all the way. So you're playing the sport, and you have people running at you. You're running at others that are bigger than you, and you're trying to take them down. I mean, those are collisions.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely dangerous. I never really thought about the dangers, and still don't think about the dangers of playing football. It's just something I love to do. Obviously, there's like safety tips as far as keeping your head out of tackles. You won't see me doing a lot of reckless stuff. Football is naturally a reckless sport, but jumping on the pile, I'll do it. But you kind of just got to be smart about those things. You know? Because it's about longevity and just trying to stay healthy as possible at the same time.
Sure.
So it's mainly just going out there doing what I love to do and not really think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been aggressive my whole life, clearly since I've been playing since 8. So the bumps and bruises come with it, but as long as nothing major happens to me, I'm all good to go.
Super.
Jarrod, were there any like big formative moments or folks in your life growing up? Because I mean, just loving the game since 8, that's awesome. But in order to get on your trajectory, I mean, it's super impressive. Were there any like key moments or figures out there that helped out?
Mainly just my parents. I would give them. I dedicate everything to them. Parents sacrifices their own, whatever the case may be, goals, dreams, even jobs and careers for you. And I believe my mother and father have done that for me. Yeah, they definitely influenced me till this day. I've been just a big football fan. Till this day, I'm a big football fan of like the players I even play against. So that's kind of really been my biggest influences. Like, so growing up, my parents, and then also like just watching football on Sundays, because I watched the NFL a lot more than college, honestly, growing up. Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
Sean Taylor. Sure. It's just a couple safeties, but then like I had a fat head of Adrian Peterson on my wall growing up, and I got the opportunity to play against him.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, it's been pretty cool. Randy Moss, the list goes on. Like all the legends, I love them. Yeah, I'm just a huge football fan. That's what's probably propelled me to where I am today. It's just trying to be like those guys, the greats. Always just trying to be the best player I could be.
Just loving what you're doing every day, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
because
lucky,
it's not
man.
promised. It's
That's
not promised.
awesome.
It's not promised.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, if you're doing what you're passionate about, and you're fortunate enough to do that, especially at a young age, then you realize the value of it, and that is really super.
Yeah, I started valuing it a lot more and more kind of when I got to Michigan, honestly, because it was no more like, high school and Little League and Pee Wees, you sign up to play. But in college, no one signed up to be here. You kind of were chosen to be here.
That's right.
Preparing for your school as well, but you're here to do a job, and that's to perform well on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I just took that to heart. I always took football serious. I never been a jokester when it came to my craft because it's something I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Jarrod, I think one of the really cool things with the Bo and Luke show is having a guy like yourself on and giving insight to the public about a guy that really, rose from playing Little League ball all the way up to NFL ball. And then there's so much more to you, which we're going to get into. And you're, as far as being an entrepreneur and a businessman and running your own foundation. But going through, I think a lot of the general public feels like, these guys get paid to go to school, and that's plenty. And I think there's some, there's some truth to that. But I don't think the general public understands like this is a full-time job from 6 in the morning until 7 p.m. at night, 12 months out of the year. This is not Jarrod wakes up at noon, goes to a class, and then goes to football practice. Like, there really isn't any time to go, quote unquote, get a second job or go. This is. If you want to just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So that's one thing Luke and I were talking about the other day, and having this opportunity to speak with you in person.
Okay.
Because you hear stories from around, whether it's other players have done interviews or whatever, like what is college really like for you, right? What is a day, we'll just talk to your day, University of Michigan. What is that like for a Michigan player?
Man, times have changed, I'll tell you that, with Jim Harbaugh. So I'll throw it out there first because I've heard a couple guys, like, when I went to the University of Michigan, I went to school all year round.
Oh, you did?
Yes. So at the time, it was kind of not really on, like, semesters. It was kind of like quarters.
Okay.
So I was in school all year round, and then mainly during the season, I couldn't have a class after, like, 3 o'clock because I got to get to practice. So your classes are going to be earlier in the morning. My first class is going to be at, like, 7:45 or 8 o'clock. Go to class, and then after you go to class, you go to practice. After practice, you're going to study table.
Wow. Study
table was a walkover. It's just down the street. Got to go to study table, and you got to put in your hours of study table, which would probably be depending upon how much work you got.
Yeah. So was study table something the football program demanded or required in your day?
All athletes.
All athletes.
Yes.
Wow.
It's kind of just like making sure you're on your studies outside of playing football.
So you didn't have a choice. It was not up to you. You had to do it. But that's great, right? So that's the school promoting academics along with the sport. Right?
Yeah. So as you go along, though, and get older, you don't have to go as much or as frequent. But, you got study table, and then depending on that, I mean, you got 12 to 14 credits for being a full-time student.
Sure.
So your homework will keep you there until 8 o'clock.
9
o'clock. I can remember leaving the AC, called the Academic Center, the AC, around like 9, 10 o'clock. And I got up at about 7 to start my day to go to class. But then depending upon which day it was, we may have a lift. So I may have to lift. I'm in this first lift group in the morning at 6 a.m. So I may lift at 6 a.m. at the building, shower up, bus back up the road, State Street, to get to class at 8. Class from about 8 to 1, and get the shim, go to practice from about 2:30 or 3 o'clock until 6:37. Practice, meetings, the whole shebang. Get your body right and everything.
Sure.
And work on your academics after that. And that was just pretty much every single day. Monday through Friday, play Saturday. Only off day was Sunday, really, which really wasn't an off day because we were going in for football. You were off from academics, but once we get back that next day, you probably still had practice.
That's incredible.
Insane.
It's insane.
How do you keep yourself motivated through that? I mean, that's like working 2 full-time jobs for most adults out there, and you think about that, you're so young at the time. That's incredible. How would you remain just motivated for that?
It's kind of just depending on, like, honestly, your preference and what you really want out of life. I knew that I wanted to be in the NFL, but also, like, I have to put this time in because football will be done someday. So that was always definitely, like, the backup plan, just to try to stay on my academics. Was I the best? No. I don't think any player, any college player is kind of the best at their academics. It's kind of tough. I mean, if you're just a genius, cool, but my personal opinion is kind of hard balancing them both. So I definitely didn't want to slack off in football. And it's not that I slacked off in academics. I tried my hardest, but I knew I wasn't going to be just like...
The demands are incredible.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be top of my class.
Did they give you certain academic programs to choose from? Did they limit what you were allowed to? Because they know that the athlete program is going to be incredibly demanding. Do they adjust that, or how do they work that?
Man,
did you choose yourself?
Since you're on scholarship,
yeah.
Like, to be honest, since you're on scholarship at Michigan, I don't know how every school is different.
Sure.
All their curriculums and everything, but at Michigan, it's hard to balance both. So certain degrees you probably just couldn't get because if you wanted to be a football player.
Yeah.
Like
Luke, what was the player's name you were telling me that reported that he's never even been on campus?
Oh, there were 2 of them. So I was reading a Wall Street Journal article, Jarrod. It was Justin Fields and Joe Burrow.
Wow.
And basically,
they're too big. They're too big. They're too big of stars.
Is that
well,
what
that's
you
what
think
we thought maybe that might be the case.
I went to school with Denard Robinson, so like Denard couldn't go to campus because it turned into a fan show, even with his own classmates. So
that's exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah, I could see that.
Too much for professors to try and keep their if he even makes it to the school building.
He probably wouldn't make it.
He probably wouldn't make it.
Yeah, probably wouldn't make it. But Joe Burrow and Justin Fields, those are like they're tremendous college players who are going to play in the league probably for a long time too. They probably couldn't even think about going to class.
I bet. Well, I heard in the article it said they're allowed to take these online or off-campus classes.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the same thing, even putting myself in another student's shoes. Like, could I keep myself from just like, giving Joe a high five? No way.
Yeah, you gonna run up on him. That's the thing. But they make sure like I'm pretty sure they make sure they get their credits in, whether it be online classes or there's some type of academic building for the football players or the entire like athletes on campus that they kind of do private studies for them for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to travel in my former career with President Bush and President Obama. And even as an adult, right? I'm a career guy.
Yeah. It's
hard to follow protocol when you're just around certain people and you want to do that very thing. Just give them the high five, have a chat, get a selfie, but you knew right away that, go down that road and that'll be the last, that'll be your last day in that, in that environment. Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
That's so true. Hey, Jarrod, I actually have a question I wanted to ask you. It's from my nephew. His name is also Bo.
Okay.
I was texting him last night. I say, I'm talking with Jarrod tomorrow. Are there any questions? Anyways, he sent me like 6 of the most in-depth questions I've ever heard. When I got these, I was like, man, I didn't expect these to be that in-depth. It took him like 30 minutes to get back to me.
How old is he?
So he just turned 18.
Okay.
So, so he's old enough to put together, And sorry, Bo, I'm not reading all your questions here, but
you're good.
Did not expect, that little Bo would put all these together. So one of those, and I'm going to read it verbatim. He said, "You were only with Jim Harbaugh for 1 season in Michigan. However, a minute is an eternity when it comes to learning from an all-time great. What is the biggest thing you've learned from Harbaugh that has helped you the most in your football career?"
Wow.
I question all-time great, but proceed.
I have no negative things to say about Jim. I think Jim was a heck of a ball coach, a guy that's really enthusiastic and loves football. The thing is that some people think he's over the top just due to his passion, but he's a very passionate person about the game of football. He's loved it, been around his whole life. Michigan legend, played in the league like 13, maybe 14 years. So that doesn't come easy. Biggest thing I learned from Jim was, to have a battle rhythm. I don't know if he said that was a military term.
Yeah, it is.
So he always talked about just having a battle rhythm. Like, as long as our days are, because he had lived it.
Yep.
He knew that it's hard to balance school and playing at Michigan as well. It's just a lot of demands. So he always said just like, that's the first thing he said in that first meeting that stuck out to me was just like have a battle rhythm. And he preached that throughout that whole year. If you have your battle rhythm, it's just going to keep you on track for everything.
It does.
Know what I mean?
I agree with that completely.
And that aligns with me. I'm not the most organized person, but I'm kind of detailed. I've always been a detailed person as far as getting up. I do the same thing every single day. Like get up, work out, certain breakfast.
Sure.
Everything. It's the exact same thing every day.
That's fantastic.
So I was already kind of with that, but that stuck with me, though, to have a battle rhythm.
I think that'll serve you well, even post-football or in your entrepreneurial endeavors and in business.
Yes.
It's one of those things to me that sounds so simple, but in the end, everyone can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. So when you have that battle rhythm and you know when you're getting up and this is what I'm doing and you know how your whole day is going to go and it's all laid out and that's what you do, you will accomplish so many objectives every day, and then those all add up every week, every month, every year. And now look where you're sitting today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Bo and Luke show. It couldn't get any better than that.
I had another coach. It may have been Jim. I don't think it was Jim's quote, but he said, "Success is nothing but a big stack of little wins." So that was always kind of another thing that stuck out to me that I keep with me. It's just each day is a little win. Yeah. Whether it's maybe a loss, as far as like, I'm just talking more of me practicing. Some days you have good practices. Some days you're not going to practice just how you want it to.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you didn't get better. You know what I mean? And even like during the season with a loss, you don't win every game, but you can learn a lot from a loss, you know? So everything is just a little win every single day, and it'll just build into success at some point.
We could have a whole show just based on the value of losing.
Facts. Yeah.
Of losing.
Yeah.
We could get into a whole
I don't want to
tirade about that in today's young little league environment, if you will.
not to bring the show down, but Game 1, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
We did play them week 1. I didn't even think of that.
Bombs away.
Yeah,
and you guys played really well. Lost your starting quarterback, but I don't want to jump ahead. But you guys gotta address that.
Yeah.
What you want to know, man?
Yeah.
I mean,
Address it.
I mean, we came out week 1, and you know they Andy Reid.
Though, man.
Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. It's hard to tell you who's won, in my opinion. All depends upon scheme in football, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're in the right scheme for you, it fits you. And him matching up with Andy Reid is like the cherry on top. That's why they won the Super Bowl this year. So I think it was more of Andy Reid's play calling, kind of knowing our defense. We had played them the year before, played them the last 2 years, you know, at some point during the season. So they're familiar with our defense, and we had a couple of different faces out there, me as well. But I'm not going to say I ain't getting nothing up, but I didn't. But at the same time, just a combination of that. Nick Foles went down.
First quarter. First drive, maybe.
Foles went down, and we put in a rookie quarterback. So it was a lot of stuff, too. We were in the game. But at the end, nowadays, it's a passing league. Quarterbacks, a bad day is not throwing 30 passes. You know what I mean? So he probably threw 40 passes that day. He just connected on like 60. If you connect on 65% of those passes, you had a good day when you're throwing the ball 40 times. So he definitely had a good day on us. He had a good day and good quarterback.
With you, though, you actually graded out maybe the highest on your defense that year. But he did. You know, you did. You fought through. That was your first like official start.
Yeah.
As the guy and playing against, you know, maybe he wasn't the NFL MVP this year, but Super Bowl champion, MVP guy, and you kept fighting. And
I hate losing, though.
I
it's cool. Like, I may have played well, but I'm a sore loser at that.
Are you?
I'm a sore loser. I think any competitor is a sore loser.
God
rest Kobe Bryant's soul. He's a sore loser. He would. I think he would rather. I don't know. Losing's just not. It's not an option.
Not an option. It's not
you
fun.
know what I mean?
I
so
agree.
like when you take that mindset, it just goes far.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Do you say like you hate losing more than you like winning?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. That's perfect. You put the head. Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yes. I hate losing more than I like winning.
Yeah. Well, that probably leads to that battle rhythm, right? Get you up out of bed every morning and the drive to be a winner.
Yes. Every day.
And so for those of us that I'm asking for a friend that are not in the NFL or in the military, can you explain what a battle rhythm exactly is?
Me?
Whoever.
So it's a military term, Jim said, and I guess it's just like doing the same thing every day. You got your rhythm. It's just it's a military term for
it.
It
is a
like,
rhythm.
Just like how you prepare your day from literally start to finish. It's already planned out.
Yeah, and the military takes that, Luke, from whether it's your as an individual soldier, airman, Marine, all the way up to the high organizational level.
Yeah.
Right, where maybe an infantry unit and their battle rhythm is we deploy for 6 months, then we're home for 6 months for training, rebuilding or reconstituting our equipment, and then giving people a break, and then we go back to the battlefield.
Yeah.
So it's that battle rhythm that keeps them on a cycle.
Yeah.
Right, and it really drives how they do business, if you will. Yeah.
I see. And and so, Jared, how do you maintain that focus and just stay dialed in all the time? Because I know a lot of us, we just have a tendency, at least me, whenever I'm trying to start a new routine, I'm really good at it for a few days, and then I find myself just going back to my bad habits. So how do you maintain that, stay dialed in?
To be honest with you, man, I can't tell you like I have the formula. It's just something that I've kind of like how I've always been. For the most part, I'm a reserved person. I don't pay attention to nothing really but myself. I never have compared myself to anyone else. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I'm just not a quitter. I never wanted to be labeled a quitter. I wanted to quit football my first, tackle practice when I was 8. I got hit too hard. I said, man, I'm quitting. My dad was like, if you quit, you got to go in front of the team and tell them, why you quitting and just apologize for wasting their time. But
wow.
I said, no, I'm not doing that. So ever then, I just, don't quit. And I've never quit.
Yeah, I give him a high five for that.
Johnny don't play.
Yeah.
You know? But that's an important lesson for anybody listening and the young folks that might be listening in high school or whatever. Just the mentality and the drive to not quit.
Yeah.
And to just, know what you want to do. And just whatever you do, even if you're not decided, just don't quit.
Don't quit.
Just give it your best every day.
Yeah.
And it all stacks up, right?
Yes.
There'll be little wins along the way. They'll turn to bigger wins.
Mm-hmm.
But just don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. Because that's who you're giving up on.
Yes.
Right? And first it's yourself. Then it's your team.
If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. I keep that with me too. I heard that from a young coach as well. Well, when I was younger, being coached by them. But if you don't quit, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
Sure. So when it was, so that I don't forget to ask, when it was draft time going into the NFL, there's a lot of teams in the NFL. Did you have a desire for any 1, 2, or 3 teams that you would really want to go play for, or was it just, I just pray that I get selected and that I make it to any team?
Yeah, I just wanted to hear my name called. That was just a dream of mine. Grew up in Northeast Ohio. My grandfather, God rest his soul, Pop was a diehard Browns fan. My uncle was a diehard Steelers fan, his son. So watched that rivalry, but no particular team that I just wanted to go to. Actually, growing up, I was just a huge football fan, so I knew who the Jags had, and Mark Brunell, Jimmy Smith, Fred Taylor, Kenny McCardell. And I used to play this game called NFL Blitz. I always picked the Jags, but it's kind of ironic that I play for them now. But no particular team that I just cared to play for. I kind of wanted to hear my name called, which didn't happen, but I was cool. That kind of just lit the fire under me even more.
Yeah.
I guess it just made me mad. And still makes me mad to this day.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I want to go back and change that.
Yep.
I'm cool with being undrafted, but now the sky's the limit, and I'm just gonna keep pushing.
That's right.
And I'm gonna take it even further.
Yeah. That's got to feel great too. It's like I was undrafted, but hey, I'm here. I'm in the show. I made it.
You're playing just like they do that Tom Brady thing, and I know Brady was called in the 6th round, but at that point, there's not a lot of separation between late round guys and undrafted guys as far as money.
Right.
Yes.
But so many players that were drafted instead of you are out of the league.
Yeah.
And we're out of the league by the summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. You know, everybody gets super
worked up
revved
over the
up.
draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter. If you're the number 1 overall pick or the last Mr. Irrelevant, it doesn't matter because you got to show up to camp and execute.
Sure.
Now, your first rounder, you get a little bit more leeway. You get a couple mess ups, but it's just the attention to detail more and more the later draft pick you would be. And then me being undrafted, I mean, I'm got to be perfect basically every day.
Yeah.
So that's where the battle rhythm comes in.
Sure.
I'm gonna be perfect every day, whatever it is. And at the time, coming in, barely got any reps. I made my very first practice with the Jags. I got 3 plays. Literally, that's it.
Wow.
3 plays.
Wow.
So those 3 plays, I just had to perfect, and I ended up making some plays.
Nice.
Out of those
awesome.
3 plays, I made some plays.
Yeah, that's right. So you made them count.
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
Now, do you take that, I don't know, like the proverbial chip on your shoulder? Do you still carry that with you think, just from that whole experience?
It's not. I do have a chip on my shoulder. I won't say I don't, but again, I don't compare myself to anyone. So I'm just trying to be the best player I could be. I think
That's
I know
awesome.
my ceiling. I know my potential, and I see the guys that I'm around and the other safeties in the league, and it's not like I compare myself to them, but I just know I can play.
Right.
So just go out there and prove
great.
it to not only them, but I'm just trying to prove myself day in and day out because I myself am my biggest critic, in my opinion. No one can be on me more than I'm on myself. And I sit there and watch film over stuff that would be crazy if I sat here and like, why are you watching that over and over? And I'm just trying to look at how I place my foot in the ground to come out of a break. So it's kind of like that. I just try to push myself because I want to be the best. I want to be the best. Period.
Cool.
Point blank. Nothing else.
Awesome. So wonderful. We're gonna deflect from football for a moment.
I'm cool with that.
Do you have a significant other in your life?
Yes. Desiree Black. Yes.
And what did you do for Valentine's Day for Desiree, if anything? Do you celebrate?
Yes. We didn't do much. Desiree's a nurse.
Nice.
So she had a 12. She worked 7 to 7 that day.
Yeah.
So
She work in a hospital? Or,
yes, she works now at Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great.
Down in Jacksonville, Florida. Didn't do much. We kind of just hung out. I ended up leaving the next day, but we got home, ate some dinner, and just talked. I got her a card and some flowers. She got me the same, a little bit of candy. Nothing crazy. We're more, like I said, I'm reserved. She is too. That's my best friend, my road dog, and
nice.
We don't do much. It's just, you know how it is. We're just us. A lot of insiders, you know.
Great.
I look at her, she look at me. She knows exactly what I'm thinking. So
yeah, it's good timing. You know, Valentine's Day was just a week ago.
Yeah.
Never know what people think about Valentine's Day. Some celebrate it, some don't.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is. In my opinion,
Some
yes,
expect
it is a hallmark holiday.
Yeah.
But any day you can make it your day, no matter what day it is.
I agree.
Because it ain't promised.
Nope.
So I don't mind if you celebrate Valentine's Day or you don't.
That's right.
It's cool.
That's good advice.
Good advice.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Awesome.
Enjoy it before Jarrod Jr.'s hanging on you.
I don't want a junior.
Little,
I'm not naming my son after me.
Little Desiree Junior Ed throwing things at you at 6 a.m. See how, oh wait, that's my life.
Oh, that's your life. Huh?
I'm cool with it. I'm up early. I'm up early.
That romance at 7 p.m.
I'm up.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, how'd you get mixed up with Vince?
So Vince first repped my cousin. Right?
Really?
Yes. Vince was my cousin's agent, who was a year before me.
Huh?
He went to high school together. He ended up playing college ball and got drafted. Cousin got drafted. And that's mainly how we met. But my time came up. I kind of was like, Vince would tell you, I was focused on the season my senior year. So, like, Vince had hit me and just, like, you know, he would hit me to, like, stay in touch, but I wasn't messing with him. I just tried to be the best senior I could be for the team.
Right.
I wanted to win. My last time, never beat. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But I ended up finishing my senior year 10-3, which was good. But I was just focused on football. And then just after college, I knew the process had to be done as far as hiring an agent. Definitely was familiar with Vince. We met a couple times and just felt comfortable. And we've been rocking ever since.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Yes.
That's a good segue into your entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And life.
Yes.
Life now, life after football, whatever the case
I'm
might
thinking
be.
about
What
it. I think about it constantly every day.
What do you got going on?
So I have my own JW Sports Management that I started last year, but haven't done anything with it. But I have future plans with that.
Good.
As well as me and Vince now have Hale, right? So with Hale, it's a different approach to having the representation of the norm for a football player in the league.
Right.
So it's rather than player to agent, it's more of like consulting on your behalf.
Yeah.
So in which that, like, the money that you pay your agent, you have to pay them typically 3%. That 3% is really being used rather than you talk to your agent only when it's contract time.
Yeah.
So instead of that, you kind of consult, and on your behalf, all the things that you kind of would want your agent to be doing for you, he's doing for you.
That's good.
So, but not under the agent title though. That's the thing.
Right.
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
And kind of a similar method to Rashawn Gary, who's a Michigan guy. Never met him. I seen him and his process throughout how he went through the combine and stuff without an agent per se, and how he created his own business. And I think everything's been well with him. I haven't heard any mishaps from it, but
that's fantastic.
that's the way we have went with it. And It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we had Vince on our inaugural show a few weeks ago. We talked all about Hale Ventures and consulting and where he's going, where we're taking that company and helping all players. Doesn't need to be current clients, right? It can be any of them that need to or have ambition for the business world. And
I think you should, because it's just a different way to I don't want to say a different way to use your money. You're just going to get your bang for your buck with the money that you have to pay anyway.
Right.
Because if you have an agent, you have to pay them. But you want your agent to be doing what you want for you. But this isn't an agency. You know? This is more consulting.
Right. It's a consulting firm.
So if you break that agent barrier down and you have just a consulting firm,
right?
It's a lot that goes into that. You know, taxes will be different and different things of that nature. So it's really good, and it should be how a lot of players should be going forward, because, in my opinion,
any interests in
agents aren't getting it done.
Gotcha.
Agents aren't getting it done.
Yeah, that's another story. And
it's
not Vince, but others.
Yeah, not my man's Vince at all.
No, but I mean, I'm a self-hating agent, so I don't really even identify as an agent anymore. But kind of have been since I saw a bunch of 70-year-olds walking in with, you know, whatever, hair dyed black, trying to look young, dapping people, you know, 20-year-old kids up. I'm like, that's not going to be me when I'm 70. But anyway, no, the whole Hale thing, obviously super excited about. Equity and strategic partners sitting here, but with JW Sports, I mean, we just scratched the surface. We just officially launched Hale last week, and really just going to go out and really sort of empower a guy like Jarrod to go out and say, hey, you know, let's run our own shop.
Yeah.
Pay attorney, consultant. I'm going to obviously continue the NFLPA license, but the contract negotiation part, we do our analytics. We look at stats. We look at all that jazz, as well, if not better than any competitor. But then the huge value add is even just setting up an entity like JW Sports. There's going to be tax advantages and everything else available to that entity alone. And then just started a real estate company that we're going to work with through Hale and our subsidiaries and the foundation.
Let's talk about that real quick before we run out of time.
Okay.
You have a foundation.
Yes.
What is the foundation about?
Jarrod Wilson Foundation, started it last year. Really just trying to give back to whoever and anybody that I can, primarily children. I'm kind of both-sided now, because I am originally from Ohio, but for the most part I live in Jacksonville now. But any help I can do, I will do. I host my own camp last year for the first time.
Oh, you did?
In Akron, Ohio, yes. We'll have another one again this summer, just for clearly because I'm a football player playing football for kids and everything like that, but just giving back. During the holiday season, I did a lot in Jacksonville as far as just donations and charity work, partnering with the Wilson's Children's Hospital down there.
Nice.
Gave out presents, definitely appearances. Just want to shed light on just the less fortunate, because it's not like I come from the worst of the worst, but my situation hasn't always been the best. And now that I am in a position to just give back and help, I want to help my community and like any community.
Yeah.
Just
that's fantastic.
You guys,
in any way I can.
You guys sponsored Thanksgiving dinner in Jacksonville with the domestic violence shelter.
Yes. Women and children of domestic violence. We sponsored a Thanksgiving dinner for them, and it was pretty sweet.
That's nice.
Great turnout, and they loved it.
Good job. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm looking at these pictures right now on your Facebook page from the Jarrod Wilson Foundation. And we'll link this out on our site too when we release the podcast, so our listeners can check it out as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's great things you're doing. I see you had Wolfson on here for the My Cause, My Cleats.
Yes, I did wear those cleats against.
Did ya?
There's a My Cause, My Cleats that the league does every year, where you get to pick any entity to kind of just sponsor or show on your cleats. And I ended up picking the Children's Center. I have visited there a couple times.
Nice.
Maybe like twice before that.
Is there something on the Facebook page or a website where people can make donations? Is that something we can help drive them to? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, my Facebook page, and I have an Instagram page for
too?
Honestly, I'm behind the scenes with all that. Desiree runs that.
Yeah.
I don't be doing all that. I'm not into social media.
It's tough.
So I don't really be
Social
posting
media
and
is
stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, any donations, I got to set up a donation page, I guess, or a link or something. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
sure.
link this out for you as well on our site so that
Cool.
the listeners can go ahead and make donations.
It's on the one of the Hale to-do lists.
Yeah.
Maxing
Awesome.
out the little e-commerce for Jay and his
Everybody needs
entities.
e-commerce.
Yes.
Yes. Well, listen, we really appreciate you making the trip from Akron today to come in here and
No
talk
problem.
with us
No
and
problem.
share all of your insights for the Bo and Luke Nation.
Yes, sir.
You're always welcome. There's all kinds of things that you're involved in that we could talk about, and
Yes, sir.
our motto is to inspire fire.
fire, I like
give
that.
back, and you're definitely a role model for many people, not
Thanks.
just athletes, but for many who can draw upon all of your experiences and what you're doing in the community and just with your life in general.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Luke, any parting thoughts?
No, just love what you're doing out there, Jared. I think it's just really impactful what you're doing, not only on the field, but off it as well. You know, I hope this reaches a lot of people and they can get a lot of insight from this because you're definitely living the dream out there and inspiring, firing in your own way. We
Yes,
love it.
sir. Thank you. I like that. I like that saying, inspiring fire.
Inspiring fire.
I like
That's
that.
the way.
I appreciate you guys.
Gotta
Thank
get-
you, Luke.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So
Appreciate
much.
you guys.
Vince, thanks for
so
coming.
much.
Always.
Cool.
Always.
That's a wrap.